YouTube or whoever else this video makes it to, if it makes it to Instagram. So today I'm shooting this video on February 6th, 2018. Today is I'm not sure how many. Today is uh, Bob Marley's birthday. I know yesterday I shot a video about Gil Scott Heron. I said I was going to be moving on to talking about Prince today, but I might end up talking for an hour about Prince just cause I could talk for hours on Prince by myself. One day I hope to be like that. People could talk about me like that, but Bob Marley. So I'll take a tangent. So today is his birthday, and I mean Marley has influenced me. I know, man. Yo, Bob Marley. These are really like some of the people that I've said I've always wanted to be like. Honestly, I was like Gil Scott Heron, Bob Marley, Prince, James Brown, and maybe Jay Z, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley, Prince, James Brown, Bob Marley, the Bob Marley, Prince, James Brown, Prince. I can't count. Bob Marley, Prince, Jay Z, Gil Scott Heron, Jimi Hendrix. Jimmy shirt on right now. Um, but I learned a lot from these guys. I will say. Um, Marley. Where would I start? Where would I start? When I first, I mean, everybody. Bob Marley is American culture, let alone world culture. World culture, let alone American culture. I apologize. My head is hurting, but I said I was gonna do this video, so I'm gonna do this video now before I fall asleep or something like that. So I'm trying to do this video. Bear with me. Um, my earliest memories of Bob Marley that was significant. I mean, everybody heard the song. Um, Three Little Birds, which I later came to find out it was called Three Little Birds, and One Love, and all those commercials, even back in the '90s, with songs like that on it. My first personal experience engagement with Bob Marley was one time, sometime or another. I was in my parents' room back in the day, and they had a Bob Marley CD, and I initially thought that No Woman No Cry was a blues song. It was kind of like a blues song. Like he was saying, I don't have a woman, so I don't have a woman. Even though I don't have a woman, I'm not going to cry about it. That's what I initially thought No Woman, No Cry was about. Later on in college, I got, uh, I dived into Bob Marley more. I had that Legend CD playing back to back to back to back to back so many times, carrying it around with me. It got a ridiculous amount of plays. I mean, kind of at that time in my head, was nothing else sounded as smooth, as relaxing and all. But the thing I like about a lot of people love Bob Marley. It sounds much. The music was such smooth reggae and all, rootsy reggae and all. Um, but I mean, Bob Marley was such a big figure. As I spoke yesterday, Bob Marley was supposed to join Stevie Wonder on a tour but he was sick, and Gil Scott Heron later accompanied him on that tour, and where they eventually gave prominence and recognition to Martin Luther King's birthday on that tour. Bob Marley was always he's such an influential character. He was influential in his early life, in his early years, um, all the way throughout to his passing, and more so. I feel like his legacy lives on since his death. I mean, more so than many other artists, even more so than like even white people's Elvis. Bob Marley touched all races, the whole world, and the music was good, sound good, so pleasant to listen to, smooth and steered up, and it was smooth sounding. But more so than that, was his message, and the music embodied his message, of the lyrics and all. So much get up, stand up for your rights, the revolutionary cause. He was like set the tone for revolutionary music that a lot of other people and genres picked up on. I mean, definitely the reggae of that time, other reggae artists around the era, and Rastafari. I'm gonna get to that, but I mean, Bob Marley influenced even neo soul music so much. One of the most popular albums of hip hop albums of the '90s was the Fugees' "The Score." It had Bob Marley influences all over, coming from Wyclef, of most definitely, but even coming from Lauryn Hill as a spitter. And then her later collaboration with the Bob on the Turn the Lights Down Low. But people still sing these songs even now. I mean, like it was quintessential neo soul vibes. Neo soul was heavily influenced by reggae. It would not have existed if it weren't for the reggae. I mean, I think neo soul was influenced by reggae even more so in philosophy. The persistence of we got to get this music to the people, and the rebels and all of that. And then I mean, and it was that was just the music, but the neo soul music, but everybody wanted to be down with the cause. That Bob Marley told you what the cause was, and he Bob Marley in terms of Rastafari. I mean, I was talking to somebody on the bus about him earlier. I was listening to "Could You Be Loved," and I was saying, you know, Bob was such a he was the guy was saying that he was such a political figure. He was a very political figure with things he said, and set the tone for a lot of the reggae music to be talking about dismantling oppressive governmental states and things like that. Chant Down Babylon, Natural Mystic, the cause for change. As I said, get up, stand up for your rights. But even could you be loved? I don't even think people really understand how deep "Could You Be Loved" really was. It's like a question asking, do you feel that you could be loved and that you deserve greatness and love and beauty and everything that comes along with love, feeling that you are loved, worthy of love. So could you be loved? He poses this question because due to historical oppression and European colonization, a lot of people was left to feel that they were uh, an afterthought, insignificant. So pose the question, could you be loved? But could you be loved isn't exactly my favorite Bob Marley song of all time. Personally, honestly, it's kind of one of my least favorites personally. But Bob Marley, man, I told the guy, I was like, Bob Marley was definitely a political force. He was. I read a book that was a bunch of poems that Bob had written um, a while back, and started writing something on it back then. Shoot, I wish I'd have looked over it before this, but um, more so than his political significance was his philosophical and his spiritual um, influence. Jabbar Marley was one of the forerunners and essentially the largest voice for the spread of Rastafari. Jah Rastafari, the religion from Jamaica, which was influenced from Ethiopia. Um, Entire religion grounded in a country defending itself from colonization, from British colonization. The I may have some of this. I may be shortening some of this, but it was Rastafari is based around the idea that Haile Selassie had to be the second coming of Jesus Christ because he defended Ethiopia from Britain colonization. And so then there were other elements and tenets to the religion. But Bob Marley was one of the first voices and most prominent voices of spreading this belief system, this religion through his music. Um, his love songs were great, but like natural mystic when he was more into his spiritual vein was a completely different thing. Natural mystic, but not even. But Jah live. All of the peaceful jams like Three Little Birds and even jamming. All right, we're jamming in the name of the Lord. You know. Um, but he set the tone for music in that kind of popularity of a spiritual form of music that was acceptable and graspable from all peoples of all angles. He openly said himself that he was of mixed race descent, and so he was never so much about black people, white people. I mean, you spoke of the black man's redemption, but I mean, he still had a more peaceful message. It wasn't um, as volatile as other revolutionary speakers were at the time. Uh, he set the tone of we just want to have peace. Can we all just have peace in the music under the sunshine? Um, but yeah, my head isn't as open as I'd like it to be right now. Um, I think I'm gonna have to cut this video short, but much love and respect, appreciation to Bob Marley and all of his descendants, Stephen Marley, Damian Marley. I love them both for real. Most of their music gets ridiculous plays. To a certain extent, they still haven't gotten the praise and appreciation, the mainstream acclaim as Bob, as much as Bob, but they've been. I mean, they continued his message. They continued the vibes of peace and togetherness, and within good music. Consistently, they have. And Stephen Marley, Bob Marley, Kmani Marley. I believe, Kmani Marley married Lauren Hill, I do believe. I don't know if they still together. Don't quote me on that part. But yeah, so shout out to the Marley. Shout out to him. Cool thing. Bob Marley birthday is today, and it's the same birthday as the Pokemon Mewtwo. Um, Somebody out there who'll see this will enjoy that. I hope y'all have a great night and peace, y'all.